sink me deeper as the evil tries to turn me around. I will not falter, shout at the devil as I bury them 6 foot underground. The hours trapped in window pane, I sit all lost here deep. The hurtness right in, haunting thoughts of this crumbling world. You cannot kill me, I am Omega. You cannot kill me, I am subhuman. You cannot kill me, I cannot erase. I am Omega. You cannot kill me, I cannot erase. I must explode. I must not forget that I have bled. Felt no respect for the demons in my head. Something saved me, plucked me out of my destiny, and dropped me safely in this hell. You take right past me, the eyes are flashing, as I call upon the dark gift to erupt. With the devil on my back and our demons right in front, I slash through and slice and settle up.
Hey guys, so there you go. Some new PRs for you. I will put the stats up on screen as usual. And yeah, I wanted to do something special for you guys for my 10,000 subscriber special. And unfortunately, I didn't get the new deadlift PR, but I think I made a pretty good effort. Tried it twice, just couldn't lock it out though. So it was over. But beyond this, nothing is over. Nothing. We will get at it. We'll get up to that 370-pound deadlift one day. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the lifting videos, the new direction my channel has taken. And I will see you on the next video. All right, guys, keep watching. Peace out. All right, today we are making chicken fajita stuffed peppers. And the first step is going to be making up the marinade to put on the actual chicken. So to start off, we got our spice blend here. Always important to have a good spice blend. So we have chili powder, we have black pepper, we have paprika, we have garlic powder, and some people use honey, but since this is a keto diet, we're using a pack of stevia in there. And that's about, what is this? I got about half a tablespoon of black pepper, chili powder, and garlic powder, and then a quarter teaspoon of paprika, and then a packet of stevia, like I said. This will probably be good for, I got about 1.25 pounds of chicken here to marinate it with. And then we're going to use some oil in it. So this is a 1/4 cup, but I'm not sure how much. I might use 1/2 of a 1/4 cup. So I believe that's an 1/8 cup. So let's just see how it looks at first. You got to kind of eyeball the marinade, just depending on how much you need to coat the chicken. So toss the oil in there, then we'll start mixing it up. And as long as this is enough to coat the chicken, that's all we need. And I'm using 100% pure avocado oil. I think some recipes called for the vegetable oil, but I like using avocado oil. It's more healthy, supposedly. So that's nice and mixed up. We're gonna get our chicken open here. Some people like to do it in a Ziploc bag, but I'm just gonna kind of drizzle it over top of this in the Tupperware. And they say you should marinate the chicken for anywhere between 4 hours and 24 hours. I may be fasting today, so this marinade video might just be the first part, and then I'll record the actual cooking of the fajita mix, and then the actual filling of the bell peppers. Because we're basically, you know, making typical grilled fajita stuff, but we're not using shells. We're just using bell peppers as the shells. So yeah, this looks pretty good for the amount of chicken I have. We'll just kind of, we'll get all this integrated, roll around these chicken thighs in this, and then we will throw it in the fridge to marinate it. I guess in the next part of this video, I will tell you how long I actually ended up marinating this. So we will cut back to that with the fully marinated chicken, and we will show you the rest of the steps. Alright, it's been 24 hours. The chicken has been marinated. We're going to start preparing the actual peppers we're going to stuff. So when you pick out the peppers, try to get these big fat peppers that are able to kind of stand up on their own. If you don't have much of a pick, what you can do is if there's uneven layers on the bottom, you can just kind of shave off some of the bottom so there's not a hole in it. And just so you know, it can stand up, because we're going to cook this in the oven standing up like this. But anyways, what you do is just cut the top off just a little bit, just enough to make a hole in the top, just like that. Go ahead and pull the core out and the ribs. The more ribs you get out, the more room you got in there to stuff with the delicious filling that we're going to make in a little while. So yeah, there's one done, and as you can see, we've got this top left, and just kind of what I like to do to not waste any is just kind of cut the stem part out of the top, and then what you can do is just chop up this top part and mix this with the chicken fajita filling. So we'll get a nice blend of chicken meat, onions, peppers, cilantro, green chilies. So yeah, that's basically the idea. Get that all cut up, and that's it. So I'm going to finish this second one. Same deal as this. You see, this is all ready to go. So we'll cut to the next step. Okay, next up we're going to dice up a sweet onion. So I'll show you guys how to do this effectively for those who don't know. So you cut it in half along the core, kind of vertically like that. That way you have two halves like that. And then on the top of it, not the core part, you slice a little bit off just to start a line. And then I just peel off the outer skin till you just get the nice crispy onion inside. Put this one aside. We'll do the second half after this part. But yeah, and if you want just like half rings, you just start slicing along it like that. But what we're going to do is get it all diced up. So what you do, you can see all these little lines on the onion. I just start to slice it about 90% to the core, just so it doesn't fall apart. So you slice just before the core, all along it, so you get a nice sliced up, and then you start cutting the other way, like if you were doing the strips. So you just do that, that, and then it gets it all diced up really nicely. And this takes some skill once you get to the end, but that just comes from years of practice. So, and then I even cut around the core a little bit, get the rest of it all diced up, and then there you have it, all diced up naturally just from the rings of the onion itself. So yeah, I'll chop up the other half here, and we'll get the filling for the stuffed peppers rolling here. And now we have one of my favorite seasonings slash garnish for Mexican food. Not everyone's a fan, but the cilantro leaves. Now we just sort of chop it up from the end. Just keep chopping and just get about where the leaves end. I don't like a lot of stems in mine, so just put the stem part aside, and then we are going to use this with the veggie filling. So we're getting close to finally starting to sizzle it up. Alright, so this is how we do it on Krist, the 30-year-old boomer. As always, it starts with the sizzled meats. So as you can see, it's nicely marinated for 24 hours. Look at that beautiful color on there. Yes, yes. But since this is a 10,000 subscriber special, we got to do it proper with that fucking sizzled meats, boy. Oh, fuck yeah, get on that bitch. You're gonna fucking suffer. before you go in the fucking oven, bitch. And you think we're only gonna torture them fucking meats? No, we got the fucking onion and green pepper medley. That's gonna fucking sizzle as well. Oh yeah, bitch. And that's not all, motherfucker. We've got the mild green chilies. We're gonna use about half of this in the fucking, yeah, get it in that fucking veggie mix. Oh yeah, bitch. That's gonna be so tasty. And don't forget to fucking season up that fucking sizzle with the salt, the black pepper. That's not fucking enough. God damn it. There, that's a lot of fucking pepper. Might be too much. That's okay though. Peppery is good. And then a little bit of this fucking paprika, boy. Alright. Let's let this shit fucking sizzle, boy. Alright, and a nice little thing to add to the veggie mix that I like to do is a little bit of lime juice. Just a splash. Maybe like that much. Just to give it that limey flavor. So let's keep this sizzling. And the veggies, they really don't have to cook that long. Just soften them up a little because these are going in the oven later anyways. So yeah, and by the way, we do have the oven preheating to 400 degrees this entire time. So the oven is all fired up and ready to throw the stuffed peppers in. Alright, let's flip over these fucking chicken thighs, bitches. Oh yeah, getting a good color on there. Nicely fucking sizzled. Oh yeah, boy. So we're gonna do 4 minutes on each side of these bitches. Sometimes you can do 4 minutes on one, 3 minutes on the other. Pretty much the same as we always sizzle these fucking meats. So we got a little bit to go here. We could probably turn the veggies off already because they're good enough. Yeah, boy, they're still sizzling. So actually, you can take off the meats a little bit early, simply because these are going to be going in the oven for like 40 minutes anyways. So we might as well take these off. They're looking really good, don't you think? So get these on the cutting board here, and then we will get this all chopped up and ready to go for filling up them stuffed peppers, boy. Alright, so now that the chicken is all freshly sizzled, we're going to want to chop it up pretty small because we want small pieces to be able to fit it really compact into the stuffed peppers. So just cut it into strips and then cut those strips into tiny bits. Hell, you could probably even shred up the chicken to make it even smaller, but I'll just do it this way. If this was normal fajitas that were on like a, you know, like a tortilla shell or something, you would probably just leave this in strips along with like having the veggies in strips. But since we're stuffing peppers, we want it to be pretty chopped up. I'm actually going to chop it up pretty small here, even smaller than this, so I'll probably do another fine chop. So we'll just let you see my terrible cutting skills. I also have a shitty knife that's not very sharp. So, but hey, if you want to buy me a better knife, there's always my Patreon account. Yeah, I doubt anyone will donate, but yeah, that would be appreciated, and I can do even more beastly cooking videos. But yeah, let's just get this more finely chopped up. Just go over it a few more times, or you can shred it up like I did in my jalapeno popper video. Either works, but this looks pretty good. It's pretty finely chopped. So I mean, you can chop up all of this, like I think like we'll barely fit 2 of these chicken thighs into those 2 peppers that I made up. So yeah, you can just chop it all up and store it, and then you can make more stuffed peppers later. Hell, just cook up like 4 chicken thighs or something, get them all chopped up, and then you got meals for several days. And then you can see here I've got my sizzled up peppers and onions all ready to go. So let's get to the good part. Let's stuff these fucking pepper bitches. Yeah, boy. Alright, we're getting there. So here is definitely the funnest part, and that is filling up the stuffed peppers. So a good way to do this is do a little bit at a time. So we got some of our meat here. Let's just start tossing a little bit on the bottom layer. And then, you know, you just kind of mix it up. Do a little bit of cheese. Try to get it all inside so it doesn't burn on the pan. I'm just using a pie pan just because it just works. So yeah, I got some meat, a little bit of cheese. I'll toss some of these sauteed veggies in there. And then, how about a few flakes of cilantro? See, we're already getting to like the halfway point. And then we got my favorite salsa, salsa verde. We'll just drop a little bit of that in there. So actually this filling, you know, as you can see, it's already filling it up. So yeah, let's do a little bit more meat. And then once it starts getting full, you can kind of try to pack it down a little bit. So let's get some more meat in there now, since we got a lot of the other stuff. That's a good amount of meat. Let's try to, it's pretty packed. Just kind of pack it into the sides where the little, you know, the indents are on the side. Let's just do a few more veggies. Not too much. We want more protein in here because we're fucking keto boists. And if you're not doing keto, you could always put some rice inside of these. These do turn out a little bit kind of runny and sloppy. If you put rice in there, it would probably soak it up a bit and make it a bit more solid, but we're doing keto diet, so we're not going to have any carbs in there, unlike a certain someone who thinks you can cheat on keto. Alright, so let's put a little bit more cilantro and cheese, and then just a little bit more salsa verde. Salsa verde might make it kind of wet as well, so you might want to do less if you want a less wet fajita stuffed pepper. Well, let's try to get a little bit more meat on the top there because I want a lot of protein in here. So we'll just do, I think we got enough of the veggies and stuff, so I'm just going to do meat on the top, get it nicely filled out. Pack it down into the sides. And some of this chicken meat is actually a little bit undercooked, but that's perfectly fine because this is going in a 400-degree oven for about 40-45 minutes, sometimes 50 minutes. Depends how well done you want your stuffed pepper to be, how soft or how crunchy. If you want it to be a bit more crunchy on the outside, don't cook it as long. But everything is basically already cooked, so really it's just a matter of melting and heating it up. So just do what you like. So I like to finish it with the cheese on top. While it's in the oven, the cheese gets nicely browned over top of that. It's really nice. So yeah, that is one complete stuffed pepper. I know it's a lot of work, but when you're on the keto diet, it's good to mix it up with a more complex meal like this, because then you get less bored with the food you're eating. And you can make other type of stuffed peppers, you know. You can do anything that you would normally have, you know, like a bun, a taco shell, whatever, a wrap. Just do it up and the pepper becomes the wrap. So yeah, I'm going to do up the second one and then we will cut to inserting this in the oven. Alright, I'm pretty excited. We got both of our stuffed peppers all ready to go. And the oven is preheated to 400 degrees. Let's pop it in, shall we? So be careful when you pop it in so you don't tip over your peppers. But mine are pretty stable because they're pretty fat peppers. So there you go. In the oven, 400 degrees. And set your timer anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes. Just keep checking it, you know, just to make sure it's getting done to how you like it. So anyways, we will cut back and show you the finished result. Oh, it's gonna be good. Alright people, the time has finally arrived. These stuffed beasts are ready to come out of the oven. Took about 50 minutes, and in the last 10 or 15 minutes I had to crank up the oven to 425 instead of 400. So maybe I would suggest cooking it at 425 instead. It's just been a while since I've cooked these, so I wasn't too sure. But yeah, it's fine, you can just increase the heat, no problem. So let's get these beasts out. Oh shit. Look at those beasts! And as you can see, there is some liquid. That's what I was telling you about. They are a bit sloppy if you do them keto style, because you can't put that rice in there to kind of soak them up. But anyways, let's plate these up, and then after that, we'll get to the taste test. Alright, here is this finished beast. I like to serve it just as is with a mashed up avocado and just a little, cup of salsa verde to put a little extra salsa on it if I like. But usually I just cut it straight down the middle. Let's see how it turned out. Pretty watery, like I said. That's probably because I added so much salsa in the middle. Probably just do less salsa. But oh my god. Look at that beast. Holy crap. I gotta zoom in on that. That's too good not to. Look at that beast. So yeah, it is a bit watery, but yeah, it's actually really delicious either way. Ooh, and that cheese is nice and crusty on the top. This is gonna be delicious, so let's carve up a couple of bites and do the taste test. Alright guys, the time has finally come. The taste test. Got a couple bites made up here with some of the salsa and the avocado. Let's give it a taste. It's probably going to be really hot. That is excellent. I left the pepper slightly crunchy and it's perfect that way. But like I said, it's kind of your preference. If you want it more well done, just cook it hotter, 425 and a little longer until it looks really soft. Let's try another bite. Man, this is so filling too. Like, I have trouble even finishing 2 of these. But yeah, I mean, this is a great recipe even if you're not doing keto. Or if you're a vegetarian, you could make this with just, black beans or something instead. So yeah. Alright, hey guys, welcome to my 10,000 subscriber game pickup special. I decided to do all 3 of these videos in one, just because this is what my channel is all about. Gaming, lifting, and cooking. Really, that's the main type of videos I do. But I've been accumulating some games for the past couple months. I was actually waiting for one more from Limited Run Games to do this video, but it's going to take them a little while to ship that out. So I decided I'll just do these games now, and then next month there's a bunch of new releases and I'll get to the Limited Run game as well. So let's start out with PS4. Got a bunch of PS4 games recently, and in alphabetical order we'll start with this one. Ace Combat 7. Yes, I've been waiting for this one for a while. The Ace Combat series, I always liked it, but I never really got to own any till later on in life. I did play the Ace Combat 2 demo back in the day when that was first coming out, but after that, I really didn't get to play them much. But yeah, I eventually started collecting them recently, and I was looking forward to this one a lot. And it is really good. I've live streamed it a few times. I think I'm about getting close to halfway through the story, and I really do enjoy it. The graphics are nice, runs a nice 60 frames a second, so yeah, it's a good game. Definitely recommend it. Alright, next up, one I got on sale. I wasn't sure I was going to buy this because it kind of has some SJW tones to it, and that is Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. This is the physical version of the kind of DLC expansion. I have not even beaten Dishonored 1, but this is an expansion to Dishonored 2. I always liked the series because it is made by former developers of the Thief series, and it plays similar, not quite the same. So I like it for that reason, but I just don't really like this developer's politics. But I believe I got this for like $8 maybe, so figured, this is probably the last generation I'm going to be gaming on, apart from PC. So I might as well finish up my Dishonored collection, especially since it was so cheap. But next up, one I had to import from Europe, and that is Middle-earth: Shadow of War. This is the definitive edition. Now, this definitive edition is in the US as well, but the US version is just the vanilla Shadow of War disc and a voucher code for the DLC. So I looked into it, and yes, the European version, actually pretty much every version outside of the US has 2 discs. I think you can even buy the Asia version of this and it has 2 discs. So yes, as you can see, it does actually have 2 discs. And the first disc, I believe, has the patches up to patch 1.6, which I believe, it might be 1.7, which has the update that removes the microtransactions from the game. So yes, this physical version on the disc is the improved version without the microtransactions. Plus it has the second disc with all the DLC content on it as well. So I did enjoy the first game, and I played a little bit of this, and it's more of the same, just larger scale, more in depth, but it seems good so far. Only unfortunate thing is the textures on the PS4 Pro version are the exact same as the regular PS4 and Xbox One, I believe. Whereas Xbox One X got, I think, the high setting textures on PC. So it's a bit unfortunate they couldn't squeeze that out, because some of the textures on PS4 Pro look kind of bad. But in general, this game isn't the most impressive graphically. But yeah, gameplay-wise, it's definitely fun. They do take some liberties with the Middle-earth lore, though, which I don't know if I like too much, but I got to get farther to see. Alright, so next up, really good one this month, and that is Resident Evil 2, the remake. So my thoughts on this so far, oh, and I should also mention, I also got a free Steelbook case with it from Best Buy, but unfortunately, you can probably see on the top corner here, there's a dent in it with paint chipped off of it, and kind of a crease in the side of it there, and another dent in the back. Best Buy always ships these in bubble envelopes, and this Steelbook is actually really rare, so they couldn't get me a replacement. I did get about $20 back, so that's some consolation, but I would rather have a non-damaged Steelbook than $20 off, but it's the most they could do. But Best Buy, they suck at packaging items. Like, I've had so many items damaged by them because they ship games and collector like Steelbooks in bubble envelopes. The same thing happened to my Final Fantasy XII PS4 version. That came with a Steelbook, and that got dented as well. But yeah, got the Steelbook, got the game. I've beaten it 3 times and kind of played all the extra content, the hunk mode and tofu mode. You can see some of those videos, but overall, how I feel about this game, I would say it's the best Resident Evil in a long time, but it doesn't beat the original for me. Sorry to say it, no, it doesn't. Yes, the graphics are better. Yes, it has more advanced, aim controls and everything, but the fact that they removed certain monsters kind of kills the nostalgia for me. No spiders, no crows, no moths or the maggots. And they kind of changed the story in ways I didn't really like. I don't like that Claire and Leon don't really meet up very much. I think they talk to each other, in the intro, then once by the fence, and then they talk over the the video feed right before the end and then just the ending. Whereas in the original, they would meet up multiple times. I believe they met up in the Star's office, and then I believe the office to the Star's office. I can't remember exactly which one that was, but they at least met up 2 more times in the original. And another thing they removed was Claire's bow gun, which I actually did like. People in forums were saying, oh, it's not a big deal, the bow gun was useless. But in my opinion, it wasn't. It was a decent weapon. It had the spray shot. It shot out 3 arrows at once, and that was nice in like a crowded room of zombies. It would hit multiple zombies. They removed Claire's explosive rounds for her grenade launcher. They kind of combined the flame rounds with the explosive rounds, but it's not quite the same because in the original, her explosive round shot out a spread shot of explosives, and it would blow the zombies apart. Like, it was basically similar to Leon's super shotgun, where you could, blow their top half off and all that. Whereas the flame rounds were acted differently. It was more like a sustained flame effect when it exploded. So that's unfortunate, some of the changes. And, Mr. X is another change I don't really like. He didn't bother me difficulty-wise, but he just wasn't as fun, because in the original, you could choose to fight him, and if you knocked him down, you could get ammo from him, and then he wouldn't reappear until the next scripted encounter. Whereas this, it's he hunts you all the time during a certain part, and there's really no point of shooting him, because if you down him, he only stays down maybe 20 seconds, and you don't get ammo from him when you down him. So there's like 0 reason to shoot him. Like, even if you're cornered, there's no reason to shoot him, because you can just try to run past him and take a hit if you have to. So yeah, I didn't like the Mr. X change. There's some little cutscenes missing, and the way they switched around the city streets sections, I wasn't too fond of. I like the longer intro street section. They did put some of the intro street sections later on in the game, but I just like that beginning where it felt like a longer trek to get to the police station. But overall, besides that, it's still a great Resident Evil game. But I just hope with Resident Evil 3 Remake, if they do it, they keep all the monsters and like all the weapons. Hopefully they don't remove stuff. But I am looking forward to the Ghost Survivors DLC. I'm glad it's free. I've been having fun doing time challenges with my buddy Alistair. And hopefully Ghost Survivors is similar to Hunk's mission, where it's, getting the best time with it. So that should be fun. Hopefully it's similar to that, because that should be some more fun. And I will mog that bastard once again. But yeah, that's enough about Resident Evil 2. I got the deluxe edition, by the way, as you can see. That just has the original soundtrack and all that. It's kind of stupid that they locked that behind Day 1 DLC. But I used my Best Buy discount to get it for, I believe I got it for $60 plus the $20 off for the damaged steelbook case. And then I guess I'll show you the inside of the steelbook. Just take some of the paperwork and the disc out. You can see it's kind of the city skyline scene on the inside. But yeah, it's unfortunate they damaged it. So it's not really replaceable either. I mean, you can buy it on eBay and it's like $30 or $40 for it. I'm not going to do that. Alright, so let's move on. I guess we'll just show this game. Got a single new game on Nintendo 3DS. Yep, they're still making games for that. There's one more game next month for 3DS I'm getting as well. But this time I got, I don't know why exactly I got this, but Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. And I literally just bought the DS version of this, I believe like 2 years ago, because that was the only Mario and Luigi game I didn't have. And then like another year later, they announced this one. I'm like, oh, why did I buy the DS version? But whatever, I've gotten, the upgraded 3DS version, which, has some graphical changes, some improvements, and some extras, but I haven't really dove into this or the original yet, so I'm not too sure. I just looked a little bit into what the differences are. But yeah, I think this one has more 3D graphics in certain areas. So yeah, should be cool though. I can finally play through the entire series when I get around to it. So all right, and then I've got 4 new Switch games. So let's start with one I just got today. I got 2 today actually, but this one, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. I do have Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition on PS4. I didn't really want to buy the DLC for PS4 because I don't like DLC. I like things to be on the discs, of course. But of course they have the Nintendo tax on this, just like Skyrim is $60 on Switch, but like $40 on PS4. This same deal, it's like $60 on Switch, $40 on PS4. But luckily, last week, last week, Newegg had a sale. I think it was a 50% off coupon, and this was one of the games you could use it on. So yeah, I got this game for $30 instead of $60, so that's a little better, but $30 is what this game should be anyways, but of course the Nintendo tax strikes again. And a really ugly inner case, just white with a disclaimer. But and then there's the little cart in there. So it'll be cool to have Diablo 3 portable, even though I'm a bit wary of supporting Blizzard. Like I said before, this is my last generation of gaming, so I'm just getting all the good games I can this generation because I'm out of this industry after that, because it's just so anti-consumer now with so many things. Still good things as well, but you have to be so wary nowadays. Alright, so next one is one I had to import. Speaking of bullshit with the gaming scene, I had to import this game, which is, you can't see the title, but you know that motherfucker on the back is a Samanosuke from Onimusha 1. So yes, this is the Onimusha 1 HD remaster on Nintendo Switch. And of course, this got a physical release here on PS4, but not on Switch. Because for some reason, Capcom hates supporting physical games on Switch unless it's a major, major title. But even then, it's like, sometimes there'll be partial downloads, and that's bullshit. So I had to pay, I think, $30 or $35 for this on PlayAsia just to get it physical, whereas, digital, it's $20. Plus I had to pay like $5 shipping. But yeah, it's a good port. The only unfortunate thing is they had to change the music because the original composer of the PS2 version was that guy who was deaf or partially deaf, but I guess he wasn't really deaf. And he had a ghost writer or ghost composer doing the music for him, so it was probably some sort of legal hellhole trying to get the rights to the music. Who knows? So they replaced some of the memorable music tracks in this, but overall it's a good port. I mean, it is the PS2 version, so it doesn't have the upgraded Genma Onimusha content. So that's a bit unfortunate as well. They could have had it selectable where you could play both versions, but I do have Genma Onimusha on Xbox Original, but it would have been cool to have it on here as well. But honestly, not to excuse that or anything, but I didn't like Genma Onimusha as much as the PS2 version. Yes, it had some extra features, but I found the mechanic annoying where when you get orbs from the enemies, you have to like tug of war battle to like suck it into your arm. And that just kind of broke the flow of the combat for me because you had to sit there like trying to get the orb from the enemy, because if they absorbed it, they became powered up and more like spongy for damage. So I kind of liked the PS2 version more in a lot of ways because it didn't have that hard bullshit. That stuff should be like a selectable thing, but on Xbox you had to play the Genma version. You couldn't play it in its original state. So that would have been a good opportunity with this version to have Genma and the original on one game. But still, it's a decent collection, or a decent HD remaster, and hopefully they do the whole collection, 2, 3, Dawn of Dreams, and maybe even Blade Warriors. That's kind of an obscure Super Smash Brothers style Onimusha game. But yeah, that's enough about Onimusha. You got to import it if you want it physical on the Switch. But PS4 and I believe Xbox One has a physical copy. But I wanted it portable because it's awesome playing Onimusha portable. And I'm really looking forward to that Resident Evil Origins collection on Switch and Resident Evil 4 on Switch. Hopefully those have physical releases in the US, and hopefully there's no partial downloads with that shit, because I hate that. Alright, so next Switch game, another one I got today. And it's a game I already own. New Super Mario Bros. U, the deluxe version. And deluxe doesn't mean much for this Switch version. It's pretty much the same game as Wii U, other than on the back you might be able to see that play as Toad and plays Toadette and Princess Peach. But really, that's the only change, other than like some controls and quality of life changes. But I had the $10 coupon on Best Buy, and I had a 25% discount coupon that I had to use up. And really, this and Diablo 3 were the only $60 games that I still need. So I went with it. It's cool to have a new Super Mario Brothers game portable. I do have 2 others on DS and 3DS, but this is the newer, HD one, so that's cool to have portable. And it's one of the best ones, I should say. The other ones were good, New Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Brothers 2 was kind of more the same. And I don't have New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii, but I want to get that very soon. And sorry about the little cut there. My camera turned off for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm glad to have this, portable for an HD version of New Super Mario Brothers. So yeah, should be fun. Alright, so next up, we got another Switch game. And this one I'm really glad came out. And that's Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition. I do have Tales of Vesperia on the Xbox 360, but I only played it for a little while. Basically, by the time I got started with Tales of Vesperia on 360, I had heard that the PS3 got the upgraded version, only in Japan, of course. So I didn't want to put all those hours into the 360 version when I knew it was missing a lot of content. So I waited and waited for the PS3 version to come stateside, which, of course, it never did. So yeah, I never got around to beating Tales of Vesperia because I was always salty that, the PS3 in Japan got it, but not us, the upgraded version. But yes, this finally came out with all the PS3 upgrades on it. It's also on PS4, Xbox One, PC, but of course I had to get it on Switch because whenever I get like a last-gen looking game, like a port, I like to get it on Switch because the graphical compromise usually isn't too severe, and you get to play it portable. So yeah, it's cool to have. It is a little worse frame rate wise than the PS4 version, although from what I know, the PS4 version also has frame rate drops as well. It's just that it drops a little bit more severe on Switch, but that's mainly in the overworld and not in battles. The battles are pretty much always locked 60 as far as I know. But yeah, it's cool to have another portable Tales of game. I think I have 3 others. I have Tales of the Abyss on 3DS. I have Tales of Hearts R on PlayStation Vita. And I believe, I have the Tales of Eternia PSP game, which is actually a European import. US didn't get that at all. They did get it on PS1, but it was called Tales of Destiny 2, which was actually the wrong title. It's supposed to be Tales of Eternia. But I guess in the US they figured the name recognition of Tales of Destiny would be better to sell the sequel on rather than Eternia, but I think that name-changing stuff that happened back in the 90s with JRPGs was stupid. I mean, they did that with Dragon Quest versus Dragon Warrior, or like Final Fantasy VI versus Final Fantasy III. You know what I'm talking about. And sorry, there was another cut there. I guess my phone was running out of storage, so I just fixed it. But yeah, it's cool to have this now. It looks really good on Switch. Yeah, I think it's like 1080p docked, 720p portable. So yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So yeah, that's Tales of Vesperia. Alright, so that is all of my game pickups for now. But I have something different for you guys. I actually have some Blu-ray pickups for once. Yes, I never really buy Blu-rays except specific things, you know, like my absolute favorite recent movies like Prometheus, the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, 300, Crank, stuff like that. But I found some at Goodwill for $2 to $3 each. I think it was a pricey mistake too, because they were supposed to be $7. Here's the first one I got. One of my favorite psychological horror movies. Basically, the Silent Hill series made me look into this movie, and that is Jacob's Ladder. Yes, with Tim Robbins. This to me is basically Silent Hill the movie, because Silent Hill borrowed so many visual aspects from this one and kind of storyline aspects. So yeah, I did actually have this on DVD already, but you know, finding it at Goodwill for $3, I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get it. So yeah, it's cool to have on Blu-ray. I'm not going to do a full Blu-ray review or anything, but and then I found this other one at Goodwill as well. That is the Resident Evil Damnation CG film. I do have, this is the only other one I bought, was Degeneration. I bought this right around the time I believe Resident Evil 5 was coming out. And I've seen the rest of these, but it's cool to have these in the collection simply because the CG movies are actually canon to the game's story. So having these in my collection is pretty much like completing my actual, you know, Resident Evil collection. So I had the first movie and the second movie. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to complete the collection then. So today I finally got this one, Resident Evil Vendetta, the 2-disc special edition Blu-ray. There's also an Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray. But I don't have a 4K player or a 4K TV. So I just went with this. It was kind of pricey, $17, but it's kind of tough to find this by itself. There's a 3-pack with all these movies, but I just like having the separate covers for collection's sake. I didn't really like the triple feature one, and this one has the 2 discs with the special features, so it's good to complete my Resident Evil collection as far as the story goes. Got all 3 of the CG movies, and I don't care for the live action ones at all. I don't like them. So yeah, that's very cool. Glad to have these, and that is it for my pickups. Now, before I go, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who subscribed to me over the years. I'm at 10,000 subscribers, and it's pretty awesome. It's a good landmark to reach. It would be cool to get more than that and, you know, go more viral, but I'm pretty happy with this so far. I mean, 10,000 subscribers, it's cool. It took a while to do it, though, many years, but it's a cool landmark to hit. So thank you everyone to helping me achieve that, and hopefully you're enjoying my content and future content that I will continue making. You know, everything I've shown on this 10,000 subscriber special is the kind of content you can expect on this channel. And I'll be doing more stuff as my life moves forward. I'll be getting into other things coming up. I'm not going to say what yet, but we'll reveal it as it comes along in my life. So thank you again, and I will see you guys on the next video. Let's get 20,000 subscribers now. How about? All right, guys. Thanks a lot. All right. Peace out.